Cloud Brothers, Cloud Brothers, woo, 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 woo. Cloud Brothers, we are live,
Yeah,
and all the news is new and improved by the U.S. Army.
yeah. Hey, I got a joke for you. Want to start with a
Cloud
joke?
Brothers, Cloud Brothers. Woo, yeah, that was us. But go on.
Okay, oh, you checking the stream? Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
Every time we do a video, we have to do this is the better looking cloud brother here, but we both have to do it.
Yeah,
It's
fair
the
enough.
running gag.
Yeah.
It's the running gag. It's like those guys, the two the most entertaining physiotherapists
Oh, yeah.
on the internet, or the most famous in their opinion.
The most famous in our opinion. Yeah, physiotherapists that are showing you how to do all the shoulder stuff, right?
Yeah.
Those
They're
guys.
hilarious. They're hilarious. Like Laurel and Hardy of physiotherapy.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
The running
Oh,
gag
there's a little
is like those
subscribe
guys,
button beside on the window. But that's okay. That can stay there. New pin chat. You can. I'm just looking at our stuff. All right, whatever.
Me
So,
too.
yeah, I'm just looking at the feedback because I had it. I guess it was set for the other channel where if anybody comes to this chat, they can just chat if they feel like it. That you don't have to follow first.
Oh yeah, that's the setting.
So I'm just gonna put it on a live chat. Just if somebody wants to send us a chat, you can add polls here if you want. If people are people are there.
Yeah.
So since last we met, I've been going back through the Udemy course.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going through all the hands-ons, and I did like I set up another IAM account, and I installed the how do you put it, like the CLI. I installed AWS through the CLI, and so I did that this morning, and that was cool. And then it's all refreshers, right? Like I did the cloud I did the Cloud Shell thing, and you know,
Well, I haven't used Cloud Shell. I've never used Cloud Shell. I've always used the command line or logging into the instance. Never used the Cloud Shell.
Yeah, I tried to do that too, but I'll probably do that off stream with you maybe one day. But I created an EC2 instance on the weekend, and I was trying to log into it through RDP, and I was just missing the administrator password, or I just can't access it for some reason.
You still have it? Because that's easy.
No, it's all gone. It's all gone, and I don't want to do it right now.
Yeah, well, it's easy. All you gotta do for that, there's a when instance comes up, you right click on it in the EC2, and you click on connect, and it gives you like a code, a key that you have to put in that tells you the password.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's like it gives you like a super secret code that you go put somewhere, and then in your account, and it decodes the password for you, tells you what the password is.
But the username on the RDP says administrator. It's just what pops up automatically. So
correct.
I've got to make sure that I'm the owner of that, because what it's trying to connect to is my computer, and it's asking me for my administrator password. So I saw something on Udemy where it shows to make sure that you're the actual owner. So it's I'll show you it later off stream, like what I'm talking about. I understand what you're saying, but
we should do that that's like a 10-minute video. So
we can make a video, but for today I'm just doing my study group. That's the plan.
Yeah.
And that is a good idea, because I'd like to do just minor tutorials through it as I find stuff.
That's a 10-minute video. Especially if you edit out the waiting for the instance stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it was kind of cool. And then it was kind of interesting because I didn't know this, but in Cloud Shell, you can make columns and you can make rows.
Oh yeah, okay. I don't know anything about Cloud Shell.
Yeah, it was just like, hey, because the guy on Udemy was showing it, and I went,
Yeah.
I wonder how many columns you can make, and it's infinite. You can
Oh yeah,
make them forever, and you can make rows forever, but it just keeps dividing it in half. There would be no purpose for this.
okay.
I just was curious, and it was just interesting.
So what is Cloud Shell all about? Because I know nothing about it.
Well, Cloud Shell's just the command line interface, but it's done through your AWS Management Console.
Oh, I see. So
Yeah.
you can run all of your AWS commands just from the console. Okay.
Yeah, so you don't have to install CLI, or for some reason maybe you don't have administrative rights to the computer you're on. I don't know, like that's might be a bad example actually, but you can do it from like basically any browser. You can be affecting things in your cloud, I guess. It's pretty neat.
Good to know. Should check that out.
Yeah.
I would imagine. Did they say anything about that disabling it as like a security thing? But I imagine if you logged in and you're MFA'd, you have permission to be there.
It's
anyway.
Yeah, well, it's not available. Actually, log into the console here. AWS Management Console. I'll just show you it quickly. Log back in. I want to go to. Yep, that's me. So I call this hands on me, and then but please don't put your hands on me.
Yeah, good touch, bad touch.
Yep. And then oh yeah, and I had to set all this up again too.
Yeah,
as you know.
Click the video up here.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay. Oops.
It's funny because they all will chain together.
Okay, so you see this little thing right here?
Yeah.
That's your Cloud Shell. Okay, so welcome. It's a browser-based shell that gives you command line access to your resources in the selected region. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So this, like, it doesn't happen instantly, but it says waiting for the environment to run. Now, what's interesting about this is that it's not available in all regions, right? So.
There's a lot of services like that, but they've got that geographically distributed pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I'm just
Cloud Shell. Yeah, okay.
I'm just moving around. Eventually, if you select one, probably because I'm in Cloud Shell, I can't select away from ones that don't have it.
Yeah.
But so if I just leave Cloud Shell, let's do that. Because EC2 is available everywhere, pretty much. So say Bahrain. I'm gonna just select Bahrain. Oh, whatever. Sure.
Oh, you enable it.
Oh, so now it's on global, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. But now that little Cloud Shell symbol's gone. So that's all I was trying to show you. It's just.
Yeah. It's only up sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm just gonna sign out because I don't want to be in Bahrain.
If you're in the default regions, like the US East 1, like that, it's in those though, right?
Oh yeah. Yes, sir.
Right. All right, let's get to the regular programming.
Okay, back to our regular scheduled programming. All right. So we are probably about halfway through this one.
34.
I think 33? There's 65 questions. Yeah, so we're just over, or we're in the half. There are 32 and a half. Yeah. A solutions architect is hosting a website in an S3 bucket named Tutorials Dojo. The users load the website using the following URL. Okay. There's a new requirement to add a JavaScript on the web pages in order to make authenticated HTTP GET requests against the same bucket by using the Amazon S3 API endpoint. Upon testing, you notice that the web browser blocks JavaScript from allowing those requests. Which of the following options is the most suitable solution that you should implement for this?
Yeah, we went over this at the last. Yeah, it's that one. I think we went over this last time, didn't we?
Might have. There was, if it's not this question, it was a similar question. Could have been.
The answer. So, I believe. Don't take this statement as de facto fact. But I think if you get a JavaScript S3 question, they're looking for cores most of the time. More times than not, they're looking for cores as the answer.
Well, I recall you saying that before too. Something very similar anyway.
Yeah.
So and then enable. So load balancing doesn't really make sense.
No.
Cross region replication.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it wouldn't, like, there's nothing talking about regions or...
It doesn't say anything about, exactly.
There's nothing indicating it. Cross-account access, that doesn't make any... It's the same account, I would assume, because it's the same website.
Yeah.
Amazon, AWS.com. So, so, like, through those several deductive reasoning, it's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we went over this stuff. And it's to allow you, and what they said, I think it was at the end, so we didn't go deep into it. But, React, those websites, React, and the other JavaScript single-page website thingies, reactive websites, like JavaScript that interacts with the database on the same page. This is the kind of stuff, this is the thing that you would have to enable for that stuff to work.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. With cores, you can configure your bucket to explicitly enable cross-origin requests from your website at your availability zone. In this scenario, you could solve by enabling cores in the S3 bucket. Hence, it's correct. And pretty much what we said, cross-account access is a feature in IAM. Cross-zone load balancing is only for elastic load balancing and not S3. Cross-region replication is a bucket-level configuration that enables automatic asynchronous copying of objects across buckets in different regions. Again, not regional. Okay, cool. Moving on, a solutions architect is working for a company which has multiple VPCs in various AWS regions. The architect is assigned to set up a logging system which will track all of the changes made to their AWS resources in all regions, including the configurations made in IAM, CloudFront, WAF, and Route 53. In order to pass the compliance requirements, the solution must ensure the security, integrity, and durability of the log data. It should also provide an event history of API calls made in the Aws Management Console and CLI. Which of the following solutions best fits this scenario?
So, track all changes made to their AWS resources in all regions. That's key. Including, I don't know why it's including other things. It should just say yes to all of those things. So, is that a false flag? The including thing is to get you off the trail.
Who is it?
Hang on. Put that on silent. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Including, I just wasn't sure if it was my phone or not for a second.
So CloudTrail is for monitoring all your things in your all your API actions, right? Everything if you enable CloudTrail, there is a trail of everything that you do in your AWS account for the things you've enabled CloudTrail for, right? So it's CloudTrail for sure.
Yeah, so CloudWatch Trail is not a thing.
I don't think
It's just CloudTrail, right?
Yeah,
Set up a new
CloudTrail
CloudTrail,
Trail, yeah.
so it would likely just from that be between the second one and the third one. So
Yeah, I don't think I'm pretty sure there's no such thing as a CloudWatch trail. I don't think that I don't think that exists. So we'll check that after. But
okay, so I would so we are looking, is this global for, like, first of all, so if it's between these two, it has to be global. The architect is setting up a logging system which tracks in all regions, its various regions, so that would probably mean it's global. I would think. So do you want it to include global service events or no include global service events? I think it would be include.
Include global service events, yeah.
Parameters, then encrypt log files using KMS encryption, apply MFA, delete on the S3 bucket, and ensure that only authorized users can access the logs by configuring the bucket policies. For me, this one makes the most sense.
For me, that one makes the most sense.
All right, final answer. Let's check it. Woo!
All right, I'm good at this shit.
Party!
No. And all of the logic, I think all our logic was correct. So what does it, the only question I have is a CloudWatch trail a thing?
Yeah, that's a super good question. It's incorrect because you need to use CloudTrail instead of CloudWatch. Well, CloudWatch is a thing. I guess you could make a CloudTrail. CloudTrail instead of CloudWatch. In addition, the include, it's missing in the setup. So the include global service events parameter. And then set up the new CloudTrail trail is incorrect because is multi-region trail is not enough. You also need what, that was my point.
The CloudTrail trail is a thing. I didn't know that.
Or CloudWatch trail, you mean?
Or sorry, CloudWatch trail, yeah.
Yeah, because like I guess you're doing CloudWatch, and it CloudWatch does log things. It's just
CloudWatch is metrics.
Yeah, so the metrics are the trail of the CloudWatch. Which is a weird way to say it.
The CloudWatch trail is the trail to the changes of all the CloudWatch changes.
Yeah, it's like yeah, I get you.
I'd Google this one. If it was me, I'd Google this one. I'd Google CloudWatch trail.
Well, you're here. I'm here. I got time. Yeah. What is a CloudWatch trail? Let's do it that way.
There we go. I'm watching CloudTrail. Yeah, see? CloudWatch trail, yeah.
CloudWatch focuses on activity, services, resources on their health and performance. CloudTrail is a log of all actions. So this is the thing. So CloudWatch, what is happening in AWS and logging all the events for a particular service or applications. Where so the log would be your CloudWatch trail. CloudTrail is who did what on AWS and the API calls to the service or resource. Right? So this is CloudWatch. CloudWatch logs, which CloudWatch alarm sends you a notice, like a text or email, whatever. And then CloudTrail, you're making API calls and a growing set of services. CloudTrail is continuously recording and sending. So it's logging, monitor, alarm.
Never heard. So yeah, I know what a CloudWatch trail is. I just never heard that term before.
I think
I just call it CloudWatch.
Maybe it's a tutorial dojo special.
Yeah, I think that's it. You know how we get stuck on words? That was one of those.
Yep, exactly. So but it is weird. But it's good to, when you see something like that, it's good to go over it.
Yeah.
Managers. This is why I get frustrated with managers and meetings. It's really funny.
What's that?
Well, what word should we use to describe this? And spend half an hour discussing a word. But if it's important, it's important. Even if I don't see it.
Yeah.
All right. Question 35. A company hosted an e-commerce website on an auto-scaling group of EC2 instances behind an application load balancer. The solutions architect noticed that the website is receiving a large number of illegitimate external requests from multiple systems with IP addresses that constantly change. To resolve performance issues, the solutions architect must implement a solution that would block the illegitimate requests with minimal impact on legitimate traffic. Which of the following options fulfills this requirement? Let me think of this. Okay. I think it's the second one. But you tell me what you think.
It's not a security group.
Correct.
It's not a... I think it might be the third one.
You do, huh?
Yeah, because the WAF is web application firewall, I think, something like that.
Yep, that's correct.
And so there's no way on the, I think on the second one there's no way to do that. Like there's no way to apply it.
Mm-hmm.
You're creating a custom network access control there and associate it with the subnet of the blocking offending requests. You're going to have to know what those requests are, where they're from, and it's changing all the time.
Yeah, right? That's fair.
I think. And the way it's worded, it's either the rate-based rule or the regular rule. But I've never touched the web application firewall, so this is all guessing. But I would guess rate-based rule and apply it to the access control layer on the application load balancer.
What does so what does rate-based mean exactly? Before I select an answer,
like percentage of traffic hitting too many. It's sending too many requests, and it won't do anything until the requests get to a percentage rate.
Okay. Yeah. You're selling me. Okay.
Yeah, and then the regular rule is just something you already know. Like just I block this all the time.
Yeah, like block this known IP address. Yeah. So create a rate-based rule in AWS WAF and associate the ACL. Okay, in my thinking, why I jumped on the second answer was because I read it first. Because a security group allows and ACL allows but can also deny. So that's why I said that. So, but what you said, I think, makes the most sense.
Yeah, because you're not going to be able to do that manually.
Yeah, this seems difficult, but we'll read why it's wrong. If it's wrong, I think it is. I agree with you. Yeah. Tightly integrated to CloudFront, ALB, API Gateway, AppSync services that AWS customers commonly use to deliver content to their websites and applications. When you use AWS WAF on CloudFront, your rules run in edge locations located around the world close to your end users. This means security doesn't come at the expense of performance. Blocked requests are stopped before they reach your web servers. When you use AWS WAF on regional services, such as an application load balancer, gateway, AppSync, your rules run in the region and can be used to protect internet-facing resources as well as internal. So there's your rate-based rule. The rate limit's 100. Consider all requests. Okay. So it tracks the rate of requests for each originating IP address and triggers the rule action with rates that go over limit. You set the limit as the number of requests per 5-minute span. You can use this type of rule to put a temporary blocks on requests from an IP address that's sending excessive requests. Based on that, the number of requests illegitimate without affecting genuine requests. To accomplish this request, you can use WAF with WebACL. And there are 2 types of rules for your WACL. I'm going to call it a WACL.
Your WACL.
You're a WACL. WACL, your knuckle.
Demonetized.
Giggity. After creating the WACL, you can associate it with ALB. When the rule action triggers AWS WAF, applies to the action internal, blah, 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 blah. And the one that I said initially, I think it was this one.
The last one is the one you said.
No, it wasn't this one, because this
Oh, yeah, okay. So, okay.
it was this one here. Is incorrect. Although knuckles can help you block incoming traffic, this option wouldn't be able to limit the number of requests from a single IP address that is dynamically changing, which was your point.
Yeah.
Good one. Yep. That all made sense to me. I don't really need to pick that one apart.
I don't need to watch a video.
No, sir.
All right.
Sorry, sapling a burp.
What I was playing with.
The ECS cluster.
ECS, not a cluster, just ECS.
A media company has an Amazon ECS cluster, which uses the Fargate launch type to host its new website. The database credentials should be supplied using environment variables. To comply with the strict security compliance as a solutions architect, you have to ensure that the credentials are secure and that they cannot be viewed in plain text on the cluster itself. Which of the following is the most suitable solution in the scenario that you can implement with minimal effort? Does a lot of reading. Okay.
That's a long question.
I'm just at a cursory glance, which was very cursory. I'm selecting that one, and then I'm going to read it again. And then I might change my mind. But if you want, if you have an idea,
limit your reading a little bit.
Wait.
Okay.
Okay, go.
One of the things in there, the database credentials should be supplied using environmental variables to comply with strict security compliance. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're storing the credentials in a file in question, in answer 1 and 3. So if you're storing credentials in a file, you're not using a variable.
Oh.
So it eliminates 1 and 3 right away. So it's between parameter store and secrets manager.
Yeah.
So those are the only two you have to read.
Okay. Use the AWS Systems Manager parameter store to keep the database credentials and then encrypt them using AWS KMS. Create an IAM role for your ECS task execution role and reference it with your task definition, which allows access to both KMS and parameter store. Within your container definition, specify secrets with the name of the environment variable, then set in the container and the full ARN of the Systems Manager parameter store. And
the thing will probably say the exact same thing for Secrets Manager. It'll probably be almost identical wording. All right, almost identical.
Specify secrets with the name of the environment variable to set in the container and the full ARN of the Secrets Manager secret, which contains the sensitive data to present to the container.
Yeah, it's exactly the same words. So it's either Secret Manager or parameter store, and in the hierarchy, I think Secrets Manager is more secure for whatever reason. So I would pick Secrets Manager.
Nope.
No, it was parameter store. So why was I wrong?
Why? It's incorrect. Although the use of Secrets Manager in securing sensitive data is valid, ECS doesn't support resource-based policies. An example of a resource-based policy is S3 bucket, and ECS tasks assumes an execution role, IAM role, to be able to call other AWS services like AWS Secrets Manager on your behalf. And the one that's correct, it enables you to inject sensitive data into your containers by storing your sensitive data in either Secrets Manager. Oh, yeah, because this does the other thing that I just said. Yeah. Or AWS Systems Manager parameter store parameters and referencing them in your container definition. The feature is supported by tasks using both EC2 and Fargate launch types. To inject sensitive data into your containers as environmental variables, use the secrets container definition parameter. To reference sensitive information in the log configuration of a container, use the secret options container definition of the parameter. Within your container definition, specify secrets with the name of the environment variable.
Wait.
Yeah.
This is all Kubernetes related stuff.
Oh yeah, K8.
No. Sorry, keep going.
Oh, and the full ARNA of either the secrets manager secret or systems manager parameter store parameter containing the sensitive data to present to the container. The parameter that you reference can be from a different region than the container using it, but must be from within the same account. Hence, the correct answer is bloody. Bloody
parameter store. Parameter store wins because it can do stuff that secrets manager can't. Moving on. But yeah, we're gonna do a Docker session as well because I'm learning Docker, and you need to learn Docker
I like Docker.
You need to learn Kubernetes. I also need to learn Kubernetes. So there you go.
Yeah, everybody wants it.
Yep. We're at the same level on all of those things.
Oh, that's nice.
I know a tiny touch more about Docker, but not much.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm just learning it too. I'm gonna go through the whole Udemy course again, but I'm actually gonna do it.
Yeah.
Well, and so I can focus on it. And what was interesting about it when I actually focused on it and I did the hands-on, it was just and then I did the quiz. It's like 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But I had already watched everything, but I didn't do any of the hands-ons. So
it's kind of like speed reading. They have you go through and see the titles first. Don't even read the book, just read the titles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then your brain knows where to go, right? That's one of the things I like about doing section-based when I'm studying for this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, a Docker application which is running on an Amazon ECS cluster behind a load balancer is heavily using DynamoDB. You're instructed to improve the database performance by distributing the workload evenly and using the provision throughput efficiently. Which of the following would you consider to implement for your DynamoDB table? Use partition keys with high cardinality attributes, which have a large number of distinct values for each of them. Use partition keys with low cardinality attributes, which have a few number of distinct values for each item. Avoid using a composite primary key, which is composed of a partition key and a sort key. Reduce the number of partition keys in the DynamoDB table.
I think that I have no idea. But that just seems the most logical.
Reduce partitions. It's a computer. You want your computer to run faster? Take some partitions out. Here's the problem, though. I don't know what cardinality means. I have never seen that word.
I don't know what any of this means. For some reason, just from history, from me going through it, I think it's a cardinal something. For some reason, I don't know why.
Okay, so this is just.
I would pick the one that you picked. I would pick the same one.
This is just a total shot in the dark, 25% chance.
Yeah.
Failed.
Yeah. It was either low cardinality or high cardinality. And it's
reducing. I'm just going to say reducing the number of partition keys in the DynamoDB table is incorrect. Instead of doing this, you should actually add more to improve its performance, to distribute the input-output requests evenly and not avoid hot partitions. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. What you said when you said it out loud, that didn't make sense to me.
Okay. So the partition key portion of a table's primary key determines the logical partitions in which a table's data is stored. Okay. This in turn affects underlying physical partitions. Provisioned I/O capacity for the table is divided equally among these partitions. Therefore, a partition key is designed that doesn't distribute I/O requests, can create hot partitions that result in throttling and use your provisioned I/O capacity inefficiently. The optimal usage of a table's provision throughput depends not only on the workload patterns of individual items, but also on partition key design. This doesn't mean that you must access all partition key values to achieve an efficient throughput level, or even the percentage of access partition key values must be high. It does mean that the more distinct partition key values that your workload accesses, the more those requests will be spread across a partition space. In general, you will use your provision throughput more efficiently as the ratio of partition key values accessed to the total number of partition key values increases. One example for this is the use of partition keys with high cardinality attributes, which have a large number of distinct values for each item.
Yeah, so that's what, so there's your takeaway. High cardinality equals large number of distinct values for each item. That's all you need to remember out of that one.
Hang on a second. The number of elements in a set or other grouping as a property of that grouping. Does that make sense to you? In mathematics, the cardinality of a set is a measure of the number of elements of the set. For example, the set contains 3 elements and therefore has a cardinality of 3.
Yeah, you could change that to an array, kind of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's okay.
More records in an array, or more records in an array. High cardinality. Cardinality. I never looked that up. That was a good one, actually. I had that question. I remembered it by just rote memory, and I may have got it wrong on the test.
Yeah, it's that's a new word for me. I enjoy that word. I'm going to use that word at work. Cardinality? Yeah. I'm going to say it. It's going to happen.
This dishwasher has a high cardinality of items in it.
Well, no, like I'm doing inventory right now. I'm doing inventory for our old stock, like our demo stock right now, and I'm gonna go. Well, Mike, the cardinality for this amplifier is 4, and he's gonna go. What?
There's 4 of them.
It means the number in the set. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. And he'll go, oh, that's awesome, because he's a huge nerd.
Yeah.
Like me.
I can see it.
Yep. A company, and I have to say, it's really nice to have a boss that you like that you get along with, that you like. It's amazing. Yeah. I've had a few, but I have a really good one right now. A company has a cloud architecture that is composed of Linux and Windows EC2 instances that process high volumes of financial data 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. To ensure high availability of the systems, the solutions architect needs to create a solution that allows them to monitor the memory and disk utilization metrics of all the instances. Which of the following is the most suitable solution to implement? CloudWatch. High volumes of financial data, I might change that. To ensure high availability, create a solution that allows them to monitor the memory and disk utilization metrics of all the instances. Yeah, so there's a key. And stop saying we've gone over this one, but this one, this is my life. This one. Mm-hmm. And gonna see. It's gonna give you this knowledge. Okay. Yeah, sure, that's fine. I have my guesses, but
you may know this already. But memory and disk utilization are not standard metrics, so that kind of gives it away, kind of. Systems manager is a systems manager thing. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, systems manager is a way to connect to the machine, and like you can also do remote, like in your own data center through the systems manager agent, and you don't need that for this. CloudWatch agent, it won't do anything for you because view custom metrics won't, like, installing the CloudWatch agent on the EC2 instance doesn't do anything for memory and disk because they are non-standard metrics, right? Amazon Inspector, I don't know what that is, but it's the wrong answer. It's enhanced monitoring because and this is also a giveaway question. Like this answer is always the same when they're talking about CloudWatch and they're talking about memory and disk. It's always enhanced monitoring through the CloudWatch agent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense. Like install it on the instance to all the EC2 instances. Yeah. Wait. What?
Wait.
What? Did you just spot something?
I might be wrong. It might be install the CloudWatch agent. I think you have to enable enhanced monitoring though.
Install the CloudWatch agent to all the EC2 instances that gather the memory and disk utilization data. View the custom. That's the other thing, because it's custom metrics, right?
Yeah.
Is that what's triggering that you might be wrong?
Yeah.
So I know it's not this. I knew that before you said anything.
Yeah, it's not that one, and it's not the first one. It's between the second and third one.
Install the CloudWatch agent to all the EC2 instances that gather the memory and disk utilization data. View the custom metrics in the Amazon CloudWatch console. Okay, I'm gonna read the other one out loud.
No.
Enable the enhanced monitoring option in EC2 and install CloudWatch agent to all the EC2 instances to be able to view the memory and disk utilization in the CloudWatch dashboard.
Is enhanced monitoring is every minute, and the CloudWatch agent one is every 5 minutes. That's the only difference between answer 2 and 3. So I think it's actually 2 now.
To ensure high
it doesn't say anything about time.
To ensure high availability.
Yeah. It doesn't say it has to. It doesn't say anything about number of minutes.
Of all the instances.
No. But it doesn't say anything about number of minutes. And the only difference between those two ones is enhanced monitoring scrapes the metrics every 1 minute, and standard CloudWatch metrics are every 5 minutes. It's the only difference.
Okay, so we're going to do this as your final answer?
Yeah, that's my final answer, yeah.
Yeah, woo! Way to catch yourself. Nice catch. Amazon CloudWatch has available Amazon EC2 metrics for you to use monitoring CPU utilization, network, disk performance, and disk read writes. In case you need to monitor the below items, you need to prepare a custom metric using a Perl or other shell script, as there are no ready-to-use metrics for all these things.
Yeah,
memory utilization, disk swap, disk space, page file, and log collection. So take note, there is a multi-platform CloudWatch agent, which can be installed in both Linux and Windows-based instances. You can use a single agent to collect both systems and log files on premises servers. This agent supports both Windows servers and Linux and enables you to select the metrics to be collected, including sub-resources metrics such as per CPU core. It is recommended that you use the new agent instead of the older monitoring scripts to collect metrics and logs.
If you do search how to do CloudWatch metrics, you'll find some old shit to install some weird scripts, Python scripts, like it was saying.
Yeah.
And there's something called the Unified CloudWatch agent. You want to use that because that does CloudWatch logs and it does CloudWatch and CloudWatch logs in the same agent.
Okay, so and then the one we almost picked is incorrect because enhanced monitoring is a feature of Amazon RDS.
Okay.
And by default, enhanced monitoring are stored for 30 days in the CloudWatch logs.
Yeah, it was okay. Well, I ended up with the right answer.
But you didn't pick it. That's what matters. An online shopping platform is hosted on an auto-scaling group of Spot EC2 instances and uses Amazon Aurora PostgreSQL as its database. There is a requirement to optimize your database workloads in your cluster where you have to direct the production traffic to your high-capacity instances and point the reporting queries sent by your internal staff to low-capacity instances, which is the most suitable configuration for your application, as well as your Aurora database cluster to achieve this requirement. I know it's not do nothing.
It's the best at that. Yeah, you're on your own on this one. I got nothing.
Well, create a custom endpoint in Aurora based on the specified criteria for the production traffic, and another custom endpoint to handle the I'm gonna go with that one.
Oh, nice.
Let's read why it's right. It's, you know what it is. I've been going through the 10-hour course, like when I've been working doing the inventory and stuff.
Yeah.
And I haven't been following along doing the hands-on with the 10-hour free code camp course. But
Yeah.
I've been listening, and the guy that was talking about endpoints quite a bit. And there was some stuff trickled in. Amazon Aurora typically involves a cluster of DB instances instead of a single instance. Each connection is handled by a specific DB instance. When you connect to an Aurora cluster, the host name and port that you specify point to an intermediate handler called an endpoint. Aurora uses the endpoint mechanism to abstract these connections. Thus, you don't have to hard code all the host names or write your own logic for load balancing and rerouting connections when some DB instances aren't available. For certain Aurora tasks, different instances or groups of instances perform different roles. For example, the primary instance handles all data definition language and data manipulation language statements. Up to 15 Aurora replicas can handle read-only query traffic. I'm just looking at the GIF here. GIF.
Yeah.
Filter endpoint. Cool. Using endpoints, you can map each connection to the appropriate instance or group of instances based on your use case. For example, to perform DDL statements, you can connect to whichever instance is the primary instance. To perform queries, you can connect to the reader endpoint, with Aurora automatically performing load balancing among all the Aurora replicas. For clusters with DB instances of different capacities or configurations, you can connect to custom endpoints associated with different subsets of DB instances. For diagnosis or tuning, you can connect to a specific instance endpoint to examine details about a specific DB instance. The custom endpoint provides load balanced database connections based on criteria other than the read-only or read-write capability of the DB instances. For example, you might define a custom endpoint to connect to instances that use a particular AWS instance class or a particular DB parameter group. Then you might tell particular groups of users about this custom endpoint. For example, you might direct internal low capacity instances for report generation, or do you do that?
It was the phone.
Or ad hoc one-time querying and direct production traffic to high capacity instances, hence what I chose. So we can do one more. We're going to be at an hour if we do one more. So we can do that if you like.
Yeah, one more sounds good.
Okay. I forgot about my voice mod, so you're not going to get any sad horns. Although we've been getting almost all of them right. So, which is
we've been doing
weird.
pretty good in the zone today.
Zone. Well, it's sort of weird. Like, you know how when you're building competency, all of a sudden it goes.
Yeah.
It started to happen to me this morning.
Yeah, good.
A company, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, if I'm going to pursue another AWS certification after this one, I don't think I'm going to take a break from studying, because it was like I had this muscle built, and then then I got fat, and then I had to build it again. Anyway, and I mean mentally, well, physically too, because Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. Question
You
40.
might want to do, okay, so just for the path, because we'll get through this in 10 minutes. You, you may want to just take the pro one rather than take all of the other ones, like the DevOps and the SysOps.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. Like,
Yeah,
I
I'm not
would.
sure what the best thing is.
I wouldn't do the.
Something to think about.
I wouldn't do the specialty until I'm employed. Like if I got hired somewhere as
okay,
security, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Fair enough. The only counter to that is there's a machine language specialty.
I might do that.
Big data, artificial intelligence thing.
Hey,
And if you can say those words, you're already fully funded. But anyway.
if I can make Skynet, I will.
Yeah, and that's what I started the machine language stuff, but I lost interest in it. So that's the other part of it. Anyway,
A company plans to build a data analytics. A company plans to build a data analytics application in AWS, which will be deployed in an auto-scaling group of on-demand instances and a MongoDB database. It is expected that the database will have high-throughput workloads performing small random I/O operations as SA were required to properly set up and launch the required resources in AWS. Which of the following is the most suitable EBS type for your database?
Yeah. Yeah. This might be a giveaway. It's either a giveaway or a trick question. Oh.
So I'm going to read the question. I'm going to read the question again before I click check. A company plans to build a data analytics application in AWS, which will deploy to an auto-scaling group of on-demand, these two instances on this database. It's expected that the database will have high-throughput workloads performing small random I/O operations.
Small random I/O operations. So it actually might be the IOPS run.
Yeah, I was just thinking that because it's input outputs. So solid state drive, input output 1.
High throughput workloads performing small random I/O operations. So you want that's IOPS. So,
yeah,
you got distracted there.
I think that's a distractor because of this word.
Yeah, 100%.
And then the random I/O ops. I/O ops. Solid state drive.
Not general.
Solid state drive is faster than a hard disk drive.
Also, yes, also true.
Okay, well, yeah, woo!
Yeah,
we're batting 1,000. I don't know.
Almost.
I don't know. I think we got like one wrong or two, maybe.
Not too many.
Have to go back to the tape. Yeah, we're good. We actually did. We were at 32. Hey, do you remember the good old? Or actually, we used to go a lot longer, though. I was gonna say, do you remember the good old days when we do all 65?
Those weren't good days.
No, we're burning ourselves out a little bit.
Yeah.
When we're doing it like this,
yeah. Wait, go ahead. Say what you said.
No, I said I'm at like going at this pace. It gives my brain a chance to process. So then, when I'm doing the hands-on or listening to what the person's saying, something that you said or the the questions indicated when we're reading the explanations pops in, and I go, oh, so yeah, obviously.
You remember Brian Tracy when I was doing the
I
remember
Brian Tracy.
The Robin, not Robin Williams.
Tony Danza.
Tony Robbins and all that stuff. Brian Tracy had one which was pretty good. Is the learning? It might not be exact, so I might be able to claim it myself. The learning is in the time away.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely 100% agree. When it's the same thing as it's maybe not a great example, but when you have your best idea, you pop open your eyes at 3:30 in the morning, and are like, oh, I know how to fix this.
Yeah.
And then just wake up from a dream. That happened to me at work. I was thinking about this, blah, blah, blah. Like I had a customer, I did a riser for a customer the other day.
Yeah.
Just a line riser, how to connect equipment together. And he called today, and I happened to have woken up at 3:30 this morning thinking about it, even though it was like 5 days ago. So whatever.
You got 2 minutes?
I do.
And are you in the AWS console, and do you have 2 minutes?
I am not in the AWS console, but I can get into it.
Yeah. I just want to show you something for like 2 minutes before you go. And I want to keep these short and sweet too, so. Yeah. Give them an opportunity to miss you. You miss us yet?
Do you miss us yet? With every shot so far.
Oh, those are good reactions. The reaction YouTube things for the Married with Children Al Bundy comments. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, he was brutal.
He was brutal.
No, that's one of them. All right, so go to ECS. Just go up into the top and type ECS.
Elastic Container Service.
Elastic Container Service, yeah, click on that. So, have you watched this already?
No, let's watch it.
Now watch it.
Using Docker containers means that you can abstract away the software, operating system, and hardware configuration from your application and have a standard building block that you can run anywhere. But when you start deploying lots of these containers for lots of applications, managing all of these container clusters starts to get complicated pretty fast. Wouldn't it be nice if you could just focus on building containerized applications and not have to worry about installing and maintaining container orchestration software or managing the underlying infrastructure required to run your containers? Introducing Amazon Elastic Container Service. Amazon Elastic Container Service is a highly scalable, high-performance container management service that allows you to run and manage modern distributed applications. Elastic Container Service allows you to schedule, launch, and run Docker containers without having to manage the underlying infrastructure using simple, native AWS APIs. You can build and package applications into containers with Docker, and then seamlessly deploy the applications into production using Elastic Container Service. Elastic Container Service uses Fargate technology to manage the underlying compute infrastructure needed to run your containers, so you no longer have to provision and scale server clusters or patch and update each server. Elastic Container Service maintains the desired state of your long-running services and scales containers based on demand. Elastic Container Service lets you easily build all types of containerized applications, from long-running applications and microservices to batch jobs and machine learning applications. For example, you might have a web app that runs all the time and an image processing worker that processes intermittent tasks. Elastic Container Service can orchestrate and run these together. Elastic Container Service also monitors your running containers and tells you how many resources are being used by each application. Elastic Container Service allows you to quickly deploy, update, and roll back containers, regardless of whether you're dealing with tens or tens of thousands of containers, making it easy to run all the different tasks that make up your application, such as web servers, queues, databases, API backends, and background workers. You can access Elastic Container Service from the Aws Management Console or through the AWS SDKs. With Elastic Container Service, you have a fully managed container orchestration service to easily deploy, manage, and scale applications on AWS. And, best of all, you just pay for the Ec2 or Fargate consumption and any other AWS resources used. There is no additional charge for using Elastic Container Service. Get started deploying containers on Amazon Elastic Container Service with a few clicks in the AWS Management Console.
Pretty cool.
Okay.
I like, hold on. I like how it looked like Deep Space Nine, which is the best underrated Star Trek show, which really helped my brain comprehend what it was saying. So that, like, so you can good job, nerds.
You can do this off on your own, but I believe that that's basically what Kubernetes does.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Kubernetes. They just explained Kubernetes.
Yeah.
But Kubernetes is like the open source thing.
Yeah, Kubernetes is open source containers. Yeah.
Yeah, and then what I was actually working on was the repositories, because if you click on the ECR repositories on the left, and then this is the last thing.
Ooh. No
So
repositories were found.
If you made your own Docker container, right, and you wanted to store your own Docker container in your own private Docker registry thing, this is where you put it. So just like GitHub repository, this is your Docker images repository. So I don't know if you've heard of Docker Hub yet, but instead of pushing stuff up to Docker Hub, you can push your Docker images up to here. So and Docker Hub is like public, right? So if you've got some proprietary web application, you don't want your Docker images going to a public repository. That's what this solves.
Nice.
And
that's cool.
So we both have to learn Docker.
Oh yeah.
And we both have to learn Kubernetes. Those are that's objectives.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
2 objectives. And the Elastic Container Service is good because it fits into the exam. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, any of the stuff, like any hands-on stuff is going to be helpful.
Now, when you see ECR, you'll have some idea what ECR actually is. You'll go, oh, what the hell is ECR? I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
But you've heard of it now. Anyway, that's it.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. If you've been watching, or if you're watching later, and like and subscribe. Clubbers.